So, Aaron, it's definitely been a pretty long week. Right. So, Aaron's not joining me on this episode. Instead, it's going to be myself and one of my dearest friends from back in Parkersburg. I have the illustrious, incredibly talented, and by no means shorter than handsome, my friend, Brooks Martin. Brooks, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm not as handsome as Tim.
He tells himself that. I don't know why. I think he's a very handsome fellow. So, welcome back to the No Streetlights podcast, guys. I'm very excited. This episode is a little bit different than our usual routine. Aaron, unfortunately, had to work today, so I'll be sitting down here with Brooks, and we're actually going to be discussing something that we wanted to get into during his first episode with us, and we alluded that we would be doing at a later time. However, time kind of slipped away from us, and the next thing you know, we were recording episode 86, and I was like, when is Brooks coming back? So it's been a very long time. A lot of things have changed. Since the last time we sat down and recorded with Brooks, we went from being an official LLC to a 501c3, or a nonprofit organization, as some of you may know. Now, what that means for No Streetlights, and I think we've discussed this in our last recording, but nothing is really going to be changing from the standpoint of looking at the podcast. This just kind of gives Aaron and I the ability to have a better outreach to the community and hopefully get some better funding to where we can have a direct impact on what's going on out there in the world. And we're going to be starting pretty locally with where the podcast is actually recorded, but we plan on expanding pretty in depth. But I'm not here to talk about business semantics and CEOs and COOs and money and capitalism. I am here to hear from my incredible friend, Brooks, the man who had taught me a million things on guitar, and I remember about 5 of those things. He helped me write and record the very first song I ever actually did anything with. And he also helped me record the second song that I ever did anything with, which unfortunately we haven't talked about on this show, and we probably won't really get into it. Mostly just due to that band that I had with my other good friend back home. I don't want to meander too much, but we were in a pretty sad place at the time when we started making some sad acoustic music. But hey, man, Brooks, dude, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here.
Glad to be back, buddy. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh man, when am I going to go back? Like, I think we were just like had that wavelength going from afar. It was just like, you're like, when's he coming back? And I'm like, when am I coming back? I don't know. And it's like neither of us like initiated. Like, hey,
dude, it's I'm telling you, man, it's like, once you've played guitar with somebody and like you officially have a mental pathway with them, like you guys are always on the same wavelength. And our good friend Ryan back from a couple episodes ago was talking about how like, you can communicate soul to soul with people, even if they're alive or passed away. So I just think we always have a constant connection open from my soul to yours.
Yeah, I could see that. There's, you get that. The friendship, the chemistry, the camaraderie, it just, it breathes an aura between us and little connection.
Dude, I'm telling you, after high school, there's like that power of friendship that takes place, and you never lose that ever again.
Oh, yeah, never. Like, I mean, you lose contact with some people. There's some people I talked to in high school that I just haven't heard from in a long time. But then there's like some people that just like, even though you do kind of go your separate ways, there's still just kind of that like sort of connection that you feel to them. And it's like, man, you'll just be sitting in a recliner one day watching TV, eating a Hot Pocket like I normally do. And you just think like, hey, I wonder what Tim's up to. Like nothing prompted it, but I just was like, hey, I miss Tim, I miss my buddy,
Yeah. Well, I promise you, I'm probably also sitting in my recliner, also eating a Hot Pocket. And it's most likely, hold on, wait. Is your favorite the ham and cheese?
That's my third favorite.
Damn.
But I only eat 3. Like there's some that I just won't get down. I know, wait, there's like 4. There's 4 Hot Pockets. Ham and cheese is number 3.
Mozzarella and pepperoni.
Mozzarella and pepperoni. I think it was like a meatball sub one that like hit the number 4. Number 1 will always be from the breakfast section. They have applewood bacon, egg, and cheese. Oh, dude. No mercy on me.
Dude, yes. The breakfast Hot Pockets are legitimate. Like, that's where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's incredible. It's just perfection at its finest. You know, this is really bringing back a lot of that high school energy, you know? Like, when we were younger and whenever we would get home from school, we would just cook up like ramen or Hot Pockets or whatever we could throw in the microwave to just satisfy that urge of I need to eat something that's not school food. And it worked pretty well for us, man. Really getting the vibes today.
I mean, honestly, that's how I started my day, was literally with 2 ham and cheese Hot Pockets. I'm not making that up.
So ham and cheese, I was right. It may not be your favorite, but I knew that that's what you had.
That's what in the fridge right now, or in the freezer, fortunately. If it was in the fridge, they'd be, bad. But in the freezer, we've got a 12 pack of pepperoni pizza, a 12 pack of ham and cheese, because I cannot cook to save my life.
Dude, I am actually a pretty damn good cook. I'm not bragging or anything, but I am pretty good at what I do. And I still will take a frozen pizza or Hot Pocket or whatever, like I tell people, I'm like, I can cook really good food, but I also appreciate the kind of junk food, cause you'll see those videos of like Gordon Ramsay being like, oh, McDonald's, it's fucking garbage. And he'll take a bite of it and he'll like, oh, fucking awful. I can't even believe that they serve this to people. I can't believe this costs 6 pence. Insane. Or £6 or whatever it costs in the UK. I don't know. And it's just like, nah, bro, like give me that burger. I'll eat that whole damn thing.
Yeah. Like honestly, because a friend of mine, she's got me into Kitchen Nightmares. We've been watching it like crazy. And it's so not a show I would have ever watched. And I watch him like eat this stuff, and like most of it, I'm like, ew, that's so gross. Like I can see what his point is. And then some of the stuff he takes a bite of, and I was like, well, if you're not going to finish it, can I have it? That looked kind of good, buddy. Like there's a lot of cheese, and I like cheese.
Well, they'll bring out something like a whole ass pizza that's like 16 inches long, 16 inches circumference or whatever. I don't know. I failed math class probably, but they'll come out with like this massive pizza and they'll be like, these pepperonis are too greasy. This cheese, there's too much cheese. And I'm like, bro, you are preaching to the wrong people, my guy. Like that sounds like the perfect pizza. I think this guy's doing everything right. It's just he's got
episode to order pizza.
It's just, there's like 15 Domino's down the street that's selling the same thing. So that's why this guy's business is failing. People will buy Domino's over, Tony's Pizza any day, because they'll be like, who the fuck is Tony? I'm gonna go get Domino's. Like I know Papa John. The Papa's got me, man. I can go get some little sleazies, but I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that Tony. Who's Tony, man? But yeah, dude, huge Kitchen Nightmares fan myself. Kitchen Nightmares, and I really got into like anything with Gordon Ramsay in it, man. I'm just a huge fan. Gordon Ramsay, please come on our show. I know we're too small time for you, but please.
Right. Can I make a show and have him come on? I just want to talk to Gordon Ramsay.
I got some questions to ask the man.
I don't know
if
what
I'm
I'd
cooking
ask
chicken.
That's the thing. I don't know shit about cooking. I just want to hear him talk.
Yeah. I just he'll be like, oh fuck yes. Oh, this food is so succulent. And he's like always bouncing when he's talking and stuff. It's so funny. Somebody's gonna clip that. Just clip it of just me going.
So bouncing when he's talking.
Just bouncing, yeah. All right, man. So we're here to talk about some good old fashioned pop punk. I guess we would classify it as pop punk, right?
Oh yeah. It was like pop punkage. Well, it was like a mixture of pop punk elements with like just general like emo sound. Some thrown in there.
The emo, post hardcore, pop punk. You blended 2 decades worth of music in a decade where that music's not even that popular anymore. And truth be told, I think it's ingenious. And you named the album Middle Aged Youth. For anybody who's listening and they're trying to get caught up, Brooks was part of a band called Forts Winds Wars. From my understanding, they are currently on hiatus, right?
Yeah, it kind of like turned into we finished up with Forts Winds Wars, and Nick and Trevor, the two guys that I did Forts with, they're like, oh, we're getting back in this band that we were in like 2010. Like, we're getting those guys back, and we're gonna start one. And
Neil House?
No, actually, because that was Neil House was like me. This is the project called 3 and Addison.
Oh, okay.
And so they started that up, and they kind of like pulled me into the band. In the last episode that was on, I mentioned like an album like release or something like that.
Yeah.
I was speaking from what they told me and not what I knew, because I have very little to do with like the politics inside that band. I kind of just show up, play guitar, and go home, you know? So
like the business side, that's somebody else's problem.
Yeah, the business side I kind of took a back seat on. Like Forts, I was a little bit more involved with that, but for 3 and Addison, I was like, let's let you guys handle it. So I do apologize that we didn't actually put out an album when I said that we were going to, but
I'm pretty sure I don't think that part made it into the final edit anyway, so I think you're okay.
Oh, thank God.
I think we made sure to cut that out because we were aware that it wasn't going to come out by the time the episode released at that point. So however, the album we are talking about, it very much is out. Everybody can go and find it on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you go and consume your music. Happens to be a lot of the same places you can find the No Streetlights podcast. So while we're out there looking for new things to add or new things to listen to, or maybe leave a good old review and a comment and maybe a like, pop over to No Streetlights. Let's get one of them over there. But I don't want to delay too much, Brooks. We've had a beautiful conversation talking about Hot Pockets, high school, and now it's time to get into harmonics. I had to do Triple H there, you know?
Oh, yes.
The king of games, of course. So I'm going to make sure that I know how to actually do this. Brooks, I'm not going to be able to really see you too much, I think, while I'm doing this. I don't know for sure.
I'll just shout my emotions very loudly, where I'm just like, surprise, happiness, sadness.
No, I'll flip between the two. I shouldn't have any problems doing that. We'll see how it goes. But all right, man. So this is going to be Catatonia, the first album off of the first song off of the album Middle Aged Youth. You guys can see it came out January 17th, which the day of recording is actually February 3rd. By the time this episode drops, it's going to be a couple weeks in advance. But, we're celebrating the over 1 year anniversary, 2 year anniversary. Sorry. I keep thinking it's 2024, man. God.
Same.
Time flies by, dude. But we're going to be celebrating the anniversary of this beautiful, beautiful album. And I'm ready to get into it, man. Are you?
Let's go, buddy. Let's hear what we got here.
Let's do this. All right. Beautiful.
I made that piano.
Did you? It's beautiful, man. Good job. There you are.
I'm bracing for the impact of emotions elude me. So I'm waiting, patiently fading. With that contract so
it's funny, I actually have an extended version of this intro that I'll have to send to you at some point.
It's so loud.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't really hear you.
Yeah, be honest. Let's see if maybe I can turn this down a bit.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. That should be good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. There it is. There it is.
That guitar lead was my warm up for years.
Oh my God.
And
I just Slash over here.
So like it used to be my left hand warm up. I actually have a TikTok video where I like played it on bass like that. And then Catatonia was like the last song we wrote for this album. Yeah. And I remember like sitting there and like I wanted to come up with this really epic lead for the beginning, and I tried like 4 billion different things and couldn't come up with anything. And I was just like, it was like 2 hours, and then we were outside having a smoke break for a second. Me and Nick were, and he was just like, man, I mean, like you can just like whatever, we'll come up with something. I was like, wait, I have this idea. I just played my warm up, and he's like, okay, let's see if it fits. It was perfect key and everything went right with it. And I was like, oh, okay, see, there we go. Couldn't believe it. I was so happy it worked.
Dude, it sounds great though. I mean, damn. All right, so I adjusted the volume again. Let's see if it's a little bit quieter so we can. Maybe that's too quiet now. Perfect. So who all's singing? It's you and Nick?
Me and Nick, yep. So like the higher, whinier voice is me, and the guy who sounds like he knows what he's doing, that's Nick.
You guys harmonize well though.
Yeah, so it's funny too because that intro is so different. Like when we first wrote it.
Really?
Like, yeah, like it was literally a case of we're like leaving the studio having just recorded the opening vocal lines, and they were just so empty and I wasn't comfortable with them. And then literally like I'm like sitting there, we're listening back to it, and I'm telling him to like play the intro over and over and over again. And I have my phone out with my notepad. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Okay. And I was like, okay, this is your line, spilling my guts with a half-assed letter. So after I do mine, just basically do like the same thing I did. He's like, okay. And so, you know, he starts playing the song with the instrumental. I was like, starting to think that I need to get better. And he's like, spilling my guts with a half-assed letter. And then just dead ass silence in the car. He takes the next exit, and we turned around and went back to the studio to redo it. So it was kind of a cool moment.
I'm gonna go back and pop that
Sure,
listen back in there real quick.
Sure.
Hold on, sorry.
Oh yeah, you good, you good.
All right. I'm just digging it, man. Damn. And this is the chorus, right?
It's a song about PTSD.
As soon as this chorus finishes, we'll pause real quick and talk about that. That makes so much more sense knowing that it's about PTSD. I mean, I can kind of I picked that up a little bit when hearing the, you know, I'll never forget the things that I have seen portion.
Yeah.
And also the name of the song, Catatonia, like it comes together now.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there like, what an idiot. He didn't get that.
well, I mean, at the same time, the Catatonia thing, weirdly enough, is not actually related to the PTSD thing too much.
Really?
Only because Nick just wanted to call the song Catatonia because he heard that in like Final Fantasy VIII, I think it was, or something like that. And he was like, I want that to be the name of the song. I'm like, okay, well, I wrote these really personal lyrics. And he's just like, I want it to be called Catatonia. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That works.
He's like, yeah, that's the perfect name for it. Catatonia. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, these lyrics, they really mean a lot to me. So can we talk about the opening lyrics here? So
at the very beginning of it, we have the whole over the piano. I have a really confusing line that I wrote in there that I'd like to go out and explain.
Yeah.
Which is calming like the end of a movie. I'm bracing for the impact of emotions elude me. And that sentence doesn't make sense when you spell it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have calming like the end of a movie. I always just like the idea of like when you're at the movie theater and just like as the credits start to roll, it's like the adrenaline of everything you just saw wears off. That was kind of like thought process of like, you know, coming down out of like, you know, like a trigger or an episode or something like that. And then like after you have that calm down, bracing for the impact of emotions, you know, you start to like really reflect on what just happened, because people may sometimes kind of confuse the idea of PTSD with the idea of just like straight up depression, the idea that, you know, the triggers just cause like sadness. PTSD is a lot different because when you get triggered, it's not just depression. It is panic. It is scared. It's like, oh fuck, something's different. I don't know what's going on. Something's not right. It's just, it puts you in this, like, anxiety doesn't begin to describe it. You are essentially mentally reliving trauma that you have experienced in the past that has been brought on by something that you relate to the situation.
It's that flashback moment.
Pretty much. And then you get to, I'm bracing for the impact of emotions elude me. It's actually two sentences smashed together. It doesn't make grammatical sense. I'm bracing for the impact of emotions. I'm getting ready for the impact of emotions. The impact of emotions elude me is the other sentence. Because, like, eventually you become numb to it, like you have these massive freakouts where you could go into, borderline suicidal states. You could start thinking about such awful things, feeling as if your entire world is crumbling, and you can go through all of that, and 10 minutes later you're so used to it you don't even think about it. Kind of just a highlight of, like, how bad PTSD can get when you don't get the help you need for it, when you don't reach out to people, to professionals, and try and get that addressed, is eventually this horrifying thing that could take your life becomes something so common to you that you don't think twice about it.
Yeah.
And if that disturbs somebody who's hearing that, it should, because the people who struggle with that, a lot of them have to go through that eventually, where that becomes commonplace.
I think one huge thing about PTSD that people don't really think about is, okay, so think of like grief, right? Mm-hmm. Grief and PTSD are very similar. And the reason why is because grief isn't one particular thing. It's more of a concept, like the emotions associated with grief or PTSD as well, because they kind of overlap. You go through your cycles where you have your anger, your sadness, your acceptance, things of that nature. PTSD has a very similar cycle, not exactly the same. And it's a concept. It's like a complex emotional roller coaster that you're going through. It's not just, oh, well, he's depressed. No, he's got a lot of stuff going on in his mind. There's a reason why PTSD is, one, sadly very common, and two, why it's such a commonly talked about thing in the mental health community, because it's very powerful. A lot of people, and PTSD can be sprung by anything. You don't have to go through a major life altering situation. If it's something traumatic, it's something traumatic. It doesn't need to be that you witnessed, both of your parents getting murdered, and 20 years later you dress up like a bat and beat up clowns in Gotham City, which, I think there's a little bit more than PTSD going on for Batman, but and I'm not trying to like underplay how bad PTSD actually is to any of our listeners there, but it's a very complex thing, and it's something that's very much needs to be taken serious. So I really appreciate you breaking that down for me, Brooks. Let's get back into the song and continue on through, because we're a minute 47, so we still got a little over.
We're on the first song, man.
Yeah, we're still on the first song.
Fortunately, I have 2 transition tracks, so we're good.
That's good. That's good. Please don't ask me how I'm feeling. Good. Hold on, I'll pause right there. So I want to make sure I heard the lyrics right there, but it was something along the lines of such pleasure in what I'm resenting. Such pleasure in resentment.
That whole bridge was probably, I think, the most powerful line I wrote for this song, like for me personally, like when it elicits emotions. It's this smile's more than vacant, such pleasure and resentment. Smile's more than vacant. Because what do you do when you're going through massive amounts of, like, mental issues and you're trying to like make sure everybody thinks you're okay, then you know you're okay. You can't blend in society. If you act on exactly how you're feeling, you won't blend. The smile's more than vacant. There's more to it than just maybe it's not so true. There's a lot more going on. You know, it's a mask. It's a mask that you have to wear. Such pleasure and resentment. I mean, it's just lashing out in general. I found myself doing that a lot when I was going through that, because, you know, you would find some sort of anger in something, such, you know, something happened, somebody did something and they meant to do it. They totally meant to do it. I know they meant to do it. And there's like, dude, just chill out. I just was asking you a question. No, you get like, that is what brings you comfort, is that sort of ability to quantify the feelings you're having onto somebody. That you're the reason that's the problem. It's so scary to have a mental illness just on the fact that it's nothing tangible that you can see. You can see the results of it, but you can't see it in front of you. So when you get that opportunity to find somebody to put that to sort of serve as an objectification of that pain that you're feeling, it feels so good to get back at it, even though you're really, that person you just lashed out at is somebody you care about. But the line goes on, can't process what my eyes see. And then the line that still kind of always gets me, because it's a thought I always had, is these memories just can't be from my own head. Like, this couldn't have happened. There's no way I went through this. There's no way I experienced what I experienced. It's hard to deal with after a while, you know. It's something that fortunately I've like gotten a lot better about dealing with in time, but like, you know, still sometimes that's a thought that still hits me in the head, is like, there's no way that actually happened. There's no way that was as bad as I'm remembering it. But in reality, it, you know, you think about it enough, and the key to getting over it is not to run from it, not to bottle it, but to come to terms with it. And that's the hardest part of the process.
God, yeah. It is a lot. And it's incredible how much you've taken those emotions and put them in this song, which you really do get that feeling from it. It's such a good song. Thank you. Such amazing emotions behind it. Thank you for sharing that, man.
No problem, man. I mean, I wrote this to help people. You know, I don't think it's important always quantify. Like, I feel like sometimes when people want to talk about PTSD, they want to talk about their experience and what they went through, what those triggers are. So you don't always have to talk about that, you know. Sometimes I think it's important just to, you know, throw it into a song, like what it's like to have this, so that people who don't have it can understand it, and the people who do have it know they're not alone. So that was the whole reason I wrote like the lyrics that I did write for this album. That was kind of the point behind it, was to spread awareness and comfort people who feel like they might be alone on something.
Let's get back into the song. And, sure. You know, if something else pops out at you that's, you know, I got really lucky with the stop there, but you know, if I do happen to miss something and you're like, wait, I want to speak on that, let me know, man. Let me know.
Sure.
Man, this sound is so nostalgic to me. I love it. I wish more bands were coming up with music like this these days. You wrote all the lyrics for this song? Like all of them?
Everything except for the very last line. That was Nick. Because I ran out of ideas. So he came up. Even on something as meaningful as this, you can still just run out of ideas, and that's okay, you know?
Oh, 100%. Aaron and I operate under the 90-10 rule. If somebody does 90% of the work, we need the other person to do the last 10.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. This last line after this chorus, actually. It's something Nick wrote. And actually, he did a really good job of it. I like to imagine, like, and this will be a theme in like another song later on. Like sometimes, like Nick knew I was working shit out when I was writing these, and so I think sometimes he wrote stuff like that to be like, you know, kind of as a reassuring to me, like, it's okay, buddy, you're gonna get out of this, you got this, you know. So,
what was his last line there? I couldn't make out all of it.
One day I'll see the sun again. You don't need to understand. Let me fall apart. Form a brand new start. I'll be there in the end.
Yeah, that fits really well. I wouldn't have guessed that he didn't actually, or that you didn't write that.
Yeah, I did. I did all the depressing parts, and then he did the happy ending.
Yeah, well, I'm glad he was able to bring some levity to it, but I don't know, man. I think what a strong song. Hold on, I really like it. What a strong song to really give this album like its huge introduction, man. Like people turn that on and they hear like the classic guitar tones. Well, classic for that particular style, but
sure.
You said sure, yeah. I mean, it's nostalgic to me for sure. It's very nostalgic.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like I'm listening to music from anywhere from 2004 to 2000. It gives me my high school vibes, man, and I love that shit. I love it.
Well, thank you.
I'm wearing my Pierce the Veil shirt from back in 2012, so you know, I still
got
her. I still got it, man. I still got it, even though there's some problematic issues from Pierce the Veil, but we're not going to get into that.
Here we can think about this. This is my buddy Francis Doom. He has an album called I Caught a Light. It's really good if you like bands like Muse or anything like that. He's my boy.
Okay.
So there, I'll plug him.
All right. There,
distraction.
Francis Doom. Yeah. Distraction.
Francis Doom.
Pocket sand. Let's get on to Blurring Lines. Now, as I remember, this song is one of my favorites off this album. So I'm very excited to get into it with you. How are you feeling?
This one, it's funny because in terms of like how it's written, I love it. And the way it's executed and from like an out, like sort of like more material standpoint, the finished product, I don't love, but I think it turned out pretty good. Because, okay, so before we get into it, first of all, this was, so, you know, there's two different types of screams. You can do fry screaming and false chord, right? And I'm normally a false chord screamer, you know, it's all like back here, right? But for this one, I wanted to have that sort of, I was listening to a lot of bands like Merchant Ships and Camping in Alaska, these like Midwest, like they're kind of like Midwest screamo bands, you know, they're Midwest emo, but it's like, you know, lots of screaming and stuff, especially with Merchant Ships. Like he just had this primal, just like belting out, like it's hard to really describe, but you'll hear it 5 seconds into the song. That I wanted to try for this album, and I don't love how they turned out, but the main problem I have is we had initially a chorus written that Nick wrote, and he really liked that vocal melody, but it's so high, right? And then I went back and I rewrote the entire thing, and I said, is this cool? And he's like, yeah, sure, that's fine, but whatever chorus you write, it has to have the same vocal melody. And I was like, but I'm gonna be singing it. And he's like, yeah. And it's just so far out of my range, I couldn't really do it that well. So I don't love my vocals on it, but like the lyrics and everything else about the song, I think is pretty good. So
all right, Blurring Lines, second track. Let's go, baby. Okay. Is that what you were talking about?
Yep, that's the fry screaming. I learned how to do it like kind of before, like right before we started doing this album, and so this was my first time ever doing that for like a recording.
Man, you're a little too critical of yourself. That sounds really good. I'm gonna start that again, a little bit louder this time. Play it back, but louder. You know. Yeah, man.
that chorus.
Man, that sounds hard to sing. Way high. Oh my god.
And I can only imagine live. Then I gotta go right after that. And it's like, dude, how was I ever gonna do that live?
You're like way up here, and then blah. It's like,
and then,
bro, what?
Oh my god, that was brutal.
Oh my
and like,
god, dude.
I just barely, like 30,000 takes later, and with some, because spoiler alert to anybody, I'm sorry if I ruined the magic of recording, like especially this genre of music. Everybody pitch corrects. It's just a matter of getting yourself within a range where like the pitch correction doesn't sound unnatural. You know, that's where you get into, like,
you don't sound like
stuff.
you don't sound like you're hitting auto tune. You know, like old school attack.
Oh yeah. So it took so many takes and so much pitch correction.
Dude, insane. Yeah. So that was the intro, about a minute, but you know, let's get into
sure.
Sure. Self-medicating one breath at a time.
It's about self-medicating with weed.
It's about self-medicating what?
The song's about self-medicating with weed because
okay.
So fun fact. Actually, this is probably not a very fun fact because A, I'm not proud of this, and B, there were probably some pretty significant reasons that this happened. I was stoned off my ass while writing and recording most of this album.
Dang,
and
man.
Like it was because, I mean, blurring lines is like kind of the key behind that. It wasn't a matter of like, yeah, dude, 420 blaze it. You know, it was a matter of like, I need to do this because I don't know, like I couldn't bring myself to go to a doctor and like actually get what I needed. And I was scared that you know, I was scared to talk about everything that was going on and whatnot. And so
yeah, it feels like you're kind of expressing your, you know, I said cry for help earlier, but you know, it kind of feels like that a little bit, where it's like, especially once you get into the self-medication area, it's like you know you need help, but you can't do it, man. There's such a stigma surrounding, like, especially as a man, like going to mental health, people are going to be like, what's wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
Rub some dirt in it, bro. Get back out there.
Pretty much. And then like another, like, and the other big aspect of it is on the chorus. I have this line. It's like, is it me or you? I say it's neither when you see what we've been through. I still remember having a talk, like before, it was actually before I got help, talking to my dad about depression and whatnot, and like how like I was really it was starting to take its toll on me. I remember my dad saying that like he went to a doctor one time and they were just talking about like antidepressants and stuff like that. And his doctor said, I don't know how anybody nowadays functions without some kind of like antidepressant, anti-anxiety med, because the world we live in anymore is so batshit insane that how can anybody function like I think there was even a meme I saw. I was like, how can anybody be out here raw dogging life right now? Like, what the hell? How do you do that? Like, bro, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And like, so that's like the main idea in that chorus is like, dude, like, don't think there's something wrong with you if you need help, because there's a fuck ton that's wrong with everything. Dude, and you're just in this path. So
it's the world, man. Everything out there is setting us all up for trauma, depression, anxiety. Like, dude, you see the memes floating around all the time about the people sitting in, you know, the dog sitting in the burning room, and he's like, this is fine. But like, that is the day-to-day life of the standard American adult.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is.
Like, we're so wrought with like, dude, if I get fired from this job, I'm not going to be able to make ends meet. You know, like, you missed one paycheck, and you're out the door, buddy. Like, you lose your house, you lose your car, you lose your fucking, I don't know, your favorite left shoe. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you're over there selling everything. Like, it's terrifying world we live in. So everybody's trying to be on their P's and Q's, and you know, it's so tough out there, man. It's so tough.
That's just like the general idea that I wanted to portray with that, is just that sort of notion of like, don't be embarrassed, don't be afraid, don't be like, don't, especially to anybody who's outside this perspective, if somebody is still in the process of getting to the point that they suffer, because I feel like sometimes that's just how life works. Nobody is good, you know, like, I've never had depression, I've never had anxiety. Bro, you just haven't experienced anything yet that's going to give that to you. I feel like it's almost an inevitability, almost like maybe somebody out there can get through it. I don't know how, I don't know when, but like,
you know, basically what you're saying, right, is if you don't have depression or anxiety, you just haven't had the experience that's going to cause it yet.
I wouldn't say that it is like 100% inevitability. I wouldn't say that. What I would say is that it is very likely that you will experience it. And I would say it's, and what is an inevitability, you will be near somebody who is experiencing it. You're going to come across. It's good to have awareness on these things, and it's good to just get it out there. Like, you know, don't try and hide it, bottle it up. That's what I did. And I was not okay for many years. You know, I was so depressed, I made an album about it, basically. So
I didn't do anything creative with my depression. I just drank a lot. So
oh boy,
no, that wasn't the good move either, man. But I'm telling you right now, if you take a look at somebody and you say, why does that make them anxious, or why does that make them depressed, bro? Give them some grace, man, because whatever could make you anxious or depressed might not affect somebody else. So don't judge other people for their triggers. They're not going to judge you, man. Like, they're going through it too. We're all going through it. And you know, that's one huge thing about No Streetlights, is like, this is an area where we can all, it's supposed to be a space that's supposed to feel open and safe. You know, you can, if any of our listeners are having a hard time or having a problem, reach out to Aaron and I, you know, hit us up on the email, hit us up on the Instagram or whatever. Right. And, you know, talk to us. Let us know what's going on, man. We're not clinical psychiatrists or anything, but you know, we'll make a joke or two, you know, might help a little bit, or we'll just lend you our ears, man. If that's what you need, that's what you need.
Exactly. And kind of in reference to a line from the last song in Catatonia that was during that bridge there. If there's somebody out there who's like, I don't know how to handle, like, you know, my friend, my spouse, somebody that I know is going through this, one of the answers that worked for me is there in the song, which is just talk to me like I'm still me. Don't try and, like, you know, walk on eggshells around me. Be you know, mindful of what can set me off. But like, then aside from that, just talk to me, you know? And like what you said, sometimes people just want you to listen, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
There's a lot of different, like, everybody's different in how they deal with it and whatnot, but like, people need help, and it's important to be aware of it.
I don't want to undermine that major amount of advice. So I really hope you guys took that and heard it. You know, Brooks and I, we're going to get back into listening to this album, because we still got, you know, quite a bit of it left to go, but let's get back into Blurring Lines here. Oh, we paused it right in the chorus too. Like,
just come
I'm
out
so
swinging.
bad at these reactions, man.
Just come out swinging with my voice just almost exploding.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, this bridge.
There you are. Oh my God, bro. Back to them highs.
Oh, I get even a higher note here at the end. And that was by my own choice. I'm just a freaking masochist, I guess. Like, yeah, this was my choice right here.
Oh, it works so good, though. Your pain brings us joy. That is not the official stance of No Streetlights. Oh no! Oh no!
classic octave down.
Yeah.
That was mostly me recovering. But then,
Oh.
there were a lot of takes to that. And like, I went through that so many times, and Nick's like, it's just not hitting right. I was like, what if I like half screamed or, you know, the word or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works, dude. It works. It sounds so good too, man.
Like-
Jeez. So this next song is called Via Purifico.
Via Purifico,
Purifico.
another Final Fantasy reference. Thanks, Nick. So
Thanks,
this
Nick.
is this is the first one of Nick wrote. So there's a few of these songs on this album where Nick wrote like the song, like he wrote the, you know, instrumental and everything, and then
Yeah.
he wrote like his lyrics and then just left it open for me to put in like guitar leads and to put in my own vocal lines. This was the first one that was like that. So anything that he sings, he wrote, and then anything I sang, I wrote. So
Nice.
it's kind of
Heck yeah.
And then all the leads are just me noodling around to like this instrumental he sent me.
Noodling. My
Yeah.
favorite thing to do on guitar, man. It's the only thing that I'm capable of doing anymore these days.
Straight
Jeez.
noodling.
Straight noodling, man. All right, let's listen to how this song starts out. Okay. Hooked instantly. You already got me, man. Oof. Ooh.
As I sit here, I think about the fear of growing old and the price I paid for the biggest lie ever sold. Now I'm all alone, with nowhere left to go. What never failed to fail? The mountains can't be scaled.
The lyrics, as I understand them to this one, are about music and like general hobbies like that, keeping you away from people you love. Because this album did that for us.
Did what exactly?
So this album, or the lyrics of this song are he wrote about like music and just like, you know, the general idea of being in a band, keeping you away from the people that you love. Because, you know, it's, if anybody's ever been in a band before, like, you know, like it's a massive time investment, playing shows, going to practices, recording albums, you know, even just like, you know, your own self rehearsal and stuff like that. It takes up a lot of time, and it's all kind of based around a dream, you know, like we all have this sort of desire to really go far in music. You know, what was it, like Herm Edwards or something? You play to win the game. You know, that's us out there. You know, we're out there. We're trying to make something out of it. You know, it's kind of just like a message to like loved ones who were away from during all that. And then this next verse, you paused it at a perfect time, because the next verse is the verse I wrote. And catch the Star Wars reference.
Oh God, I'll play.
I was
This is
just
gonna
like,
be my.
I really wanted to put a Star Wars reference in a song, so I did.
You have to, man. You have to. Sorry, I had to put a beanie on because my forehead was looking extra long today.
That's right. my face is like finally dried from the shower I took 15 minutes before we started this. So
Well, you know, I probably should have showered before this, but I didn't. Whatever. I
Nice.
shower at night before bed anyway, so it's just my life.
Yeah.
Let's listen to this verse, man. Let me see if I can get this Star Wars reference.
all right.
Why does everything have to be so frustrating? Aspirations complicated. Stay out, control the fight. I froze in place like carbonite. I can't stand the thought of
I did not catch the Star Wars reference. I did not catch it.
Stick it out, control the fight. I froze in place like carbonite.
Ah, okay. I thought I heard that. Well, I didn't hear the carbonite, but I heard that part, and I was like, that's probably where it's at.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what is the reference? I don't want to say I caught it and then actually didn't catch it.
I've been like, where is it, Tim?
It was there. Like, it was in the other song.
High pressure situation.
You're like, it was actually in Catatonia this whole time. You loser!
Catatonia is a Star Wars reference. It's extended.
Catatonia is Star Wars. It was actually in it was in the worst of the new trilogy, the third one. You're like, fuck, at least it was in a Star Wars movie. I don't know, I would take it. Actually, hold on. What if your song got selected to be in a Star Wars movie, but it was the worst out of like the Star Wars movies? Would you still be proud of it? Yeah, Rise of Skywalker, the worst.
I probably would do that thing that like sometimes when like, you know, people work on a project like in Hollywood they're not proud of, they just like put their name in as like John Smith. So I'd be like, yeah, John Smith here, John Smith. Or I do like I do like a ghost thing where I just wear a mask on stage all the time if we ever had a performance.
You'd be the new Buckethead, man.
I was gonna do like a Chewbacca mask to stay on theme though, so like,
oh my god!
And I go up to do my vocals, and I only do Chewbacca noises.
I mean, you know, just based off of the opening of Blurring Lines, I think you'd be able to kill that.
Oh yeah, by
the way, Star Wars metal.
Yeah, so there you go. Guitar solo, by the way. There was this empty space right here. And I was like, what do you want me to do? Or what are we doing there? Is it like a bridge? And he's like, dude, put a guitar solo in there. I was like, a guitar solo in a pop punk song? What? Like,
raggy, what? Let's listen to it, man. There it is. Beautiful, dude. Beautiful.
This ending's probably one of my favorite parts of the whole album.
Nice, man. Very nice. Dude, it screams emo to me, and I love it. God, so good, dude. So good. Danger to Us All. So this one's a pretty short one. I'm guessing this is going to be a
this is a interlude track. So initially, basically we don't have to listen to this one if you don't want to, because it's just like, you know, weird instrumental stuff. All this basically is it was going to be the intro to the album.
Yeah.
Because initially, before we wrote Catatonia, The Road was going to be the first song on the album, which is the song that comes after this. And Danger to Us All was actually the name, what we were going to call the album before we called it Middle-Aged Youth. Initially, like, I even made like album art for it and everything. And it was an album that was going to be called Danger to Us All.
I am a huge sucker for hearing like the whole start to finish building of an album and actually writing the songs and concepts and everything. So this entire episode is like my personal Disneyland, you know, like I'm here, I'm just riding all the rides. I'm enjoying all the songs, man, the backstory, the history, the album was named this. We changed the song to this. This is why this is this way. Oh, God. All right, man. Tell you what. I want the audience to go and have to listen to these interludes because I think I have listened to these already. Yeah. And I think the instrumentals are beautiful and definitely worth listening to. Something to just kind of vibe to a little bit, you know? I'm a huge fan of interludes in albums. So, but we'll go ahead and skip them. And then we'll jump straight into, wow, it already started on us, okay? We'll jump into the road.
Leads into it.
Yep. Yeah. Let's hit the road, buddy. And 15 people just left. All 15 of our listeners. Ah, yes. Classic.
Until we wrote Catatonia, this was absolutely my favorite song on the album.
I have to sit up, man. Oh, hold on. Dude, what? What a fucking killer intro, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
Know what's funny about this song? This is the second time for this band we recorded a song, basically had it done, wiped out all guitar, bass, and vocals, and rewrote the song to the drums. So, like, this was initially a different song.
I'm noticing a pattern here. It's almost like writing music isn't just as simple as creating a song, recording it, and publishing it.
Oh, yeah. So the other like interlude-ish kind of track, it's really just a really short one. We can listen to like a teensy bit of it. But the funny part is, all it basically is do you remember when I did the Facebook comment metal songs?
Yeah,
it's
of course.
Ending to Facebook comment metal song number 5. It's just that riff.
Hold on. So, we got to find that too when we get there. We got to find that if it's still up.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get back. We're going to
get
to the old
again.
Dusty road again.
On the road again.
On the road again. Different song, buddy. Oh my God, dude. Yes. Okay. I'm so glad we're finally here. I couldn't remember the name of this song, but this song. Okay. So you probably don't remember this because I think by the time you and I started hanging out, I was a little bit past this point, but I was a huge Senses Fail fan, bro. Massive. I loved that band more than anything. I would defend their honor to this day because people would be like, man, they suck, or they're too depressing, or they're too emo, or Buddy Nielsen's a loser, or whatever, bro. I'm like, well, I don't care, man. Like, yeah, he went through some bad shit though. Like we've all had depression, anxiety, PTSD. That dude went through it, but and he's chronicled it all. You can all go read it online. But dude, I gotta go back because that gives me. I hate telling artists I'm like, bro, that song sounds like this, but it's like, it's not that it sounds like Senses Fail, but it gives me the vibes of when I was so in love with that band. Like it just strums the guitar in my heart, man. You're like, bro, shut up.
No, I'm just like, I'm sitting here like, I didn't listen to Senses Fail that much.
Oh my God, it's so good. Oh, shit.
Fun fact, I'll tell you now that we're halfway through the song. Listen closely, there's a synthesizer through the whole thing.
Is there?
Yep. Basically the entire thing.
Basically the entire song?
Yeah, especially on the choruses. It's definitely there.
Oh, bro. Oh man, boof.
I have such a freaking fetish for skippy synths and skippy guitar.
Oh my.
Or like anytime you like put them like repetitively in like this, you take like this little 64th of a sound clip and just loop it like over and over again for like a second. It's like, you know, I love shit like that.
I gotta get back to that part. Hold on. Gotta get back to it. I hope I went back far enough. The audience listening, bro, they're so out. I don't even care anymore. This is for us, man. At this point, this
We
is
got
just
through the
for us,
personal
man.
songs. Now let's do the fun songs.
Yeah. Here we go. Yes. Oh. Man, this is making me want to get back into playing music again so bad, dude. I feel so inspired.
Oh, yeah. You should try it. It's really fun.
Bro, this would be the song. I'm saying bro a lot. This is how excited I am. I don't say bro that much until I get like super hyped and energy, right? But woo, this is the song that if a band came out playing this live, like mid-show or whatever, I'd be there the whole time. I wouldn't care. I would stay until this song played.
Yeah.
Man.
As much as Catatonia is my favorite song on this album, this one is my second.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose one to open with, dude, I'm so opening with The Road.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
We did the knuckle puck rip at the beginning, you know, like just ripping off Pretense basically, but like
Well, it'd be perfect because you'd have the interlude playing as the band is all coming out and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter either because like, you know, like that's usually reserved for like the big bands, like A Day to Remember would do that kind of stuff or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Before Second Sucks kicks in or whatever. But it's like, who cares, man? Have fun with it. Play the interlude. Danger to Us All, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that what it was called? Danger to Us All.
Yeah, Danger to Us All. Yeah, it's honestly that would have made for a solid like, you know, walking out on stage music.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, you had the like the swelly reverse things. A lot of those production effects, like any like reverse swelly effects, that's all like Nick and Trevor. They're like super about that. Me, I like to put in like glitchy stuff. So, you know, like that whole like breakdown, that da da da, and then like all the harmonics. Like that was all me, but like them, they're like doing all the like weird swells and ambient stuff. They're really good with that.
It's a good combination of both, man. They just seem to go so well together because you're like blending two decades of like styles, like 2 decades of a specific stylized choice, and it fits so beautifully, dude. It just seamlessly goes together. Let's hit the road one last time, and then we'll get to ourselves the next song. How's that sound, Brooks?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Man, what a fucking song, dude. There it is. There's your glitch.
Yeah, it was like both too, because then it was like with those like weird reverse things that Nick just like he just like sneaks off to the studio by himself, doesn't tell anybody he's going, and he just like he'll spend a whole day just like hitting a chord and then like throwing it into like Reaper and just be like, what's this sound like if I reverse it, add reverb, pitch shift it, mix it down, and then reverse it again?
He he's like, I don't know anything about sound engineering or whatever, but I'm just gonna happen to do all this stuff over here, and it's perfect.
Dude could straight up take a guitar and make some like whale ASMR, like,
man,
what the fuck are you doing, dude?
What a genius, dude. I was always a huge fan of. Yeah, I was always a huge fan of you and Nick's projects, man.
Thank you.
God. Let's all right, thoughts so intrusive. So this is the other interlude, right?
It's the other interlude. Essentially, it's me. Remember I mentioned merchant ships earlier? Like it was we took that part from Facebook comment song 5. And then I was like, I want it to sound like merchant ships. So I just tried to do my best merchant ships impression. But like with more kind of blended with our style.
But with like, more.
Yeah. The lyrics kind of speak for themselves. The part I like to highlight on this is I put my soul into these fucking screams because I wanted it to work. I didn't want it to sound like I half-assed it. So this is probably the hardest I have ever screamed in my life for like
now
anything.
I feel bad. Now I feel bad for skipping Danger to Us All because I was
Danger
like, we're
to
just
Us
gonna
All,
skip the interludes.
I wasn't even on it.
Yeah. I remember this song too. It's so good. I didn't even realize it was an interlude when I first listened to it, man. That's crazy. God, my throat's bleeding, bro. For you. Oh my God, bro. What the heck possessed you that day?
Normally in the studio, like when you record anything, it
We should probably turn that part off
because, like, yeah, it's just feedback from there.
Yeah, just feedback.
But like with this very mic, normally you're kind of getting into it, like, trying to like sing and whatnot, but you have to kind of keep your head still to keep like the dynamics straight. For that one, I was like folding myself in half, like head almost to my knees, like trying to push as much like voice and air out of me as possible to try and emulate what merchant ships did, probably pretty effortlessly.
Yeah, but they're probably playing music and doing stuff like that, way more than you have the time to put energy into it. So
yeah,
either way,
they might be. I have no idea. I was just like, I need that. I need to sound like that. I want to rip them off.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it sounds incredible. I haven't listened to Merchant Ships, but that's so good, dude.
I'll drop you a link to their like the album that I listen to all the time. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, I want to let everybody know that the link to this playlist is actually going to be down in the description. As well, if you do want to check it out over on Apple and Spotify, I highly recommend it. If you're liking what you're listening to, but you're just thinking to yourself, man, can these guys just shut up for 5 minutes? Like, go check it out, man. Go give it a listen on your daily commutes. I'm telling you what, the road is on repeat for me right now, man. So, whew, let's get into Glow, man. Is this the glow up or the glow down?
Glow, yep. That's the one we shot the video for. I feel like I'm gonna end up just talking more about the video.
Well, there is a video. Yeah, why don't we can watch the video if you want. How about we watch the video at the end?
Sure.
Because we got two other songs and then we'll go watch Glow.
We have 2 more. Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, we have Glow, Wishbone, and Forever.
Oh, I forgot Wishbone exists.
How do you forget the wishbone exists, man? How do you think you get your wish at the end of a turkey dinner, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna say no. The turkey, no. You're not supposed to.
The turkey,
with the wishbone.
No.
Wishbone was.
Oh God.
So so we'll do Glow last, but Wishbone was another one that like Nick wrote So this is actually an interesting one. He wrote the lyrics. We never do this. He wrote the lyrics, and then I wrote music, and we mashed them together. Like we never do that.
Man.
Normally it's like we write all the instrumentals out and then write lyrics to that. This one, it was just like, it was another, just like on Thoughts So Intrusive, just something I was playing while noodling in the studio. And he's like, oh, we need to write something of that. So I said, okay. All the instrumentals on Wishbone are me. And then like he and I kind of shared singing and kind of shared ish like lyrics. And I can't remember who wrote what lyrics, but most of it's him.
Yeah, makes sense. Hey, I got a little music joke here for you, Brooks.
Oh, what you got for me, buddy?
What is a metal elitist's favorite genre of music?
What's that?
Black metal. God, that was so lame.
I'm laughing. I thought it was funny.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you. That reminds me of Humpty Dumpty. They ate his soul. Like, all right, let's check out Wishbone, man. Oh shit! You already got me, man. I'm already sold.
If I take off my mask, will it be enough to get back all we've lost? Does it even matter? Our love is a wishbone.
Mm.
When it breaks, one of us is cursed to be alone.
Damn.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I hope I'm the ghost. Whoa, that's haunting you. And I admit I was caught off guard when 7 years only built a house of cards. Still, I was crushed when it finally collapsed. I want to hate you, but I can't forget the past. I hope I'm the ghost. That's haunting you.
Okay, let's pause there for a second, man. So first of all, Nick's voice works really well with these like with the slow kind of style and low energy songs. Like it's really surprising, you know, just because like the way he sings and everything, he's kind of got that like I can't fucking do it, but he can. So
he did an excellent job with this song. Like you know, you sometimes forget sometimes with your bandmate, you get to know your bandmates so well that you forget they're also musicians sometimes because you just know them personally so well that you're just like, oh yeah, this guy that, you know, I play video games with on the weekend. Oh yeah, I forgot he can also sing. And so like you kind of doubt each other a lot. And like I was admittedly kind of doubtful of like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to carry this with like the way we're wanting to arrange the instrumentals. And honestly, I felt like he nailed it. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, no, he really did. He killed that. I mean, there's still another half of a song left, so I imagine
it actually just kind of repeats. So like we could probably after this course, we could probably just move on from it because it doesn't do anything else. It just repeats something for fluff. You fluff sometimes.
Yeah, as a musician, you know, you can only put in so much. You could listen to this entire album without stopping, dude, and it would be like it'd be like one Dream Theater song. Like that's the vibes I get.
Pretty much.
Just pretty one much. Dream Theater song. You got the Count of Tuscany acoustic break near the very end, and then it goes right into Forever. So now we're at the last track, Forever.
Yeah.
All right, now on to the last song. Well, next to last song. We still got the Glow video to watch. Okay, starting off with some orchestra, some strings, baby.
Yeah, I made that.
Of course you did. Nice. Let me guess, you wrote this guitar too?
That's right there is a rare lead from Nick. So like I did the first part, the da 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 da, but like once the drums like actually picked like a beat and everything, that was actually Nick doing a lead. It's like the one time on this album that he did that. So he didn't do it like he if he ever did leads, he did like octaves and stuff, but that was like actually a little like lick he played. I was proud of him for that. So
Well,
good job.
Hell yeah. Go Nick. Kick some ass, man.
Whoops.
Okay, hold on. Just the way this song starts, though, the first bit of lyrics, it feels like I'm reading the summary at the end of a book, you know? Like, where it's just like, because you put so much energy into the rest of the album, and then, you know, you're talking about pouring your guts out. And it's just like, yeah, I can kind of see that.
It's a song about, we did one that was like, you know, a message to the loved ones for being, you know, in a band, being musicians. This one's what it is like to be. So all the lyrics I wrote, which I wrote the verses and bridge and stuff, are lyrics about like basically thoughts I have all the time back when I was in bands and stuff like that more frequently. Like that opening line is, I'm done chasing glory. I'm just telling my story. I'm pouring my guts out so you can ignore me.
Yeah.
Because fun fact. So take a guess how many copies of this album you think got sold.
Oh man, I don't want to guess. How many? Just tell me. 2. Come on. Not even a whole handful. You're kidding me.
2 copies. And then I think we sold like one song. Collectively, like our earnings from this album were about $40, if that. From streams.
Where do I buy this album from?
I'm not trying to pressure you or nothing. I was just basically
how
saying,
do I buy this? Where is it at? Hold on.
I guess on like.
You got it on Amazon?
It might. I actually don't know.
It's weird, dude. It's weird, dude. Because like usually I'd buy music, right? But with the way streaming services are,
and I don't have a problem it's so with much that more. Or nothing. Like, but the numbers that we were putting out for it were not like numbers consistent with somebody who is being listened to, and that gets frustrating after a while. And so it's just like crazy to think, you think about the lyrics, looking back at the start of the episode, Tim, where I was talking about my PTSD and my depression and my anxiety and all the trauma I went through, the self-medicating, the fact I couldn't even stay like off of weed to make this album.
Yeah. No,
and then you go home and realize, and it kind of gets into the whole thing of where the band folded after this. No one listened. We didn't have the energy to promote it, and that's kind of on us, because you have to. Oh no, no one listened to my album because I didn't tell anyone I had one, right? So like that's kind of on us, but like at the same time, it just gets frustrating, and like we'll kind of get more into it with the lyrics like further on, but just the idea of like you pour so much of yourself into this music, and then like the fact that like it doesn't get heard by anybody sometimes to some extent, it's just like painful.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how exactly Apple will let me buy music, and I'm just not seeing it. But dude, no, trust me, I know that feeling, dude, because that's how it feels sometimes with like, especially on this podcast and stuff. Like we'll go and see that we have, I don't know, man, like 10, 15 listens on an episode that we spent hours and hours and hours working on and editing and recording and publishing and promoting. And you're like, man, what am I putting all this work and effort in for? But I don't know. There is something beautiful about just being in there and being the one creating, even if it doesn't get all the attention, your soul is living on in a way in these projects that you're working on. Even if you sell 2 albums, man, like those 2 albums, they go on well past you. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. And like, it's about something a lot more than like, um just like, oh, I want people to, I want to be famous, I want to like have this, have that. It's like, I don't care about fame or anything. The thing that like bothered me more than anything in all of it was just the fact that I had a message I wanted to send to people, and it's almost like you're firing that message out into space hoping it gets sent back to Earth, and it just doesn't. No one heard it, never got to anyone. So
it's not even that. It's not even an expensive album, man. I just found it so I can buy it. But now you've officially sold 3 copies. All right, man. Let's pop back in and finish up Forever so we can get to the music video. All right.
So Nick's lines there, that's him responding to what I'm saying. Like, it's the idea of like me, basically giving all my, like, venting out all my doubts and everything, and then that's him being like, buddy, but it's, don't think about it, man. It's like, I would do anything for you, and we're doing this for each other. We're keeping each other together.
I love that. All right, pop back on into this one. Pop back into that bad boy.
So many years chasing my dreams, studying my weakness, strengthen my seams, learn from mistakes, try to work hard, shut down my conscience to follow my heart, but still feel like I've lost my chance to grow.
Feel like you lost your chance to grow. Or this gives me like the Brotherhood core kind of vibes, where it's like no matter how deep you fall, brother, I'll always be there for you kind of thing. I love that, dude.
Oh yeah. The ending, if you're into that, I think you'll really like the very ending of it, because we go full gang vocal, bro.
Oh,
We're gonna go back full gang vocal on you.
I can't wait. Whoa. Nick right there with
that's a Nick special right there.
Yeah.
Line there, save me now or let me drown.
Wow. Ooh.
First time I didn't do synths was on this part right here. Trevor did them, and I made fun of him a lot. I was like, what in the fucking Africa by Toto synth is that?
At least he picked a good song to be inspired by.
Oh, that is so funny.
I just remembered I've met Nick before, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure I've been to his house or something.
Yeah, I think when he lived on South Side, he had that apartment there. I think he
Yeah.
came over to hang out one time where he had like the basement where he
Oh,
just
man.
iRace all day.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, man. Wow. God, I've met a legend. I mean, I'm meeting you, but I've also met another legend. That's officially 3 legends I've met in my entire life.
Who's the third?
No. Well, technically 4 because the third is actually Sam and Dean Winchester from Supernatural. So.
Oh, you got to meet Sam and Dean?
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh.
Oh yeah. We got their autographs and everything. I don't have my Dean autograph in here right now, but yeah, man, I got autographs and everything. Shook their hand, gave them a challenge coin and everything, bro. Jared Padalecki said he thought I was handsome and muscular.
I would
Dean
probably
Winchester.
never have any self-doubts for the rest of my life if Jared Padalecki said that. I really want to meet Misha Collins really bad.
He wasn't there, man. So unfortunately, but I did get to meet Chuck, which I was super ecstatic about. Rob Benedict.
Dude, I love him.
Yeah,
he did
no.
so good in that role.
Dude, he is one of the because oh man, this is a story for a completely different time. I'll have to tell you offline, man. I don't want to sidetrack away from this.
Sure. Sorry,
He
we went on a little
was
supernatural tangent there.
Yeah, he was an absolute fucking peach, dude. I hope one day I can meet that guy again. He was so cool. But anyway, let's get back to Forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had an album here, I guess.
Yeah. So anyway, Supernatural. Oh man. Okay. All right.
When we used to like go back and listen to this song, I'd like hear this part. I was like, da, 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 da. Just to fuck with Trevor.
Bless the rains down in Africa. Oh man.
So normally that's the end of the album. You know, we're gonna go over Glow real quick, but
yeah, we'll go to Glow. The official music video, 808 views, guys. 5 years ago. Come on.
we have 800.
Come on, guys.
How
880.
Oh wow.
Come on, guys. Get that up. Get them numbers up. If I got,
I didn't think we had
50,000.
400.
I mean, let me go ahead and subscribe to actual Forts Wins Wars because I'll subscribe to the topic. 5 years ago, though. That's crazy.
I didn't know it had that many views. Like, I know like 880 is still like not like a massive amount of views, but like straight up, I thought it had like, if you would have asked me like, how many views do you think it has? I would have been like, oh, I don't know, like 400 to 500 maybe.
I just beat you in Shell. Good shit.
Oh yeah. I used to plug the band on when I play NHL like 23 and NHL 22. It was like my name on there was check out my band Forts Win Wars. And that's okay. That would have backfired badly if I sucked at Shell, but I was actually really good. So like,
check out my band.
Except
bro.
that guy apparently gave me a beat down. So he's like, beat you in Shell. Good shit.
Oh, we actually got the lyrics.
I
here,
died
too.
laughing when I saw that comment.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nick wrote most of them.
All right, we gotta see this.
Oh my god. My friends have turned this masquerade into a meme. It's so funny.
I've never watched the music video. I didn't even know you guys had one. That's crazy. Bro, you're only you guys are a 3-piece?
Yeah. So when we recorded this, because when we first started Forts, we were a 3-piece. I was playing bass. The idea was when we did middle-aged youth, either I was going to be moved to guitar, and then like we were either going to bring in a bassist or we were going to like backtrack bass and play to a click.
Makes sense.
Because they wanted to put me back on guitar. So you paused it at a perfect moment too, because the one thing that so many people don't realize about this music video that's really important to me is my pants are ripped from the leg to the like waistband. and you can see it perfectly right there on my left leg. That happened right before recording. I was an hour away from home. There was no other option, man. Like, I just had to record with my pants ripped and just own it, you know? So
I love that though.
so yeah,
What a
I just watched
story.
my left leg the whole time. I'm just wearing ripped ass pants.
Let's see it, man. Yep, I see it.
Yeah.
God knows I should have done this long ago, but I needed time to grow. Sometimes things just fall apart.
There you are, man. The whole ripped pants and everything.
You were a glow in the dark, sent to rescue me. Just a tiny spark, did more than you can
I like how you can't even see your face, dude.
Oh yeah, I was rocking like that long ass hair then.
Yeah. Nice transition on the video.
Yeah, Joe Huck made the video for us. We had an idea for like a story concept in there, but we just never went through with like we had planned up to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna clip that. This masquerade.
I can't
Tag you in
hear it without laughing because my friends have memed it so hard.
I thought that was your tattooed arm for a second. I was like, Brooks, when?
No,
I was like, you just been hiding
I
a
got a-
tattoo over there this whole time?
I got a gift card for Christmas though, so like I should be getting one here in like a month or two.
Heck yeah. What are you gonna get?
It's a I'm trying to remember, an Engelmann spruce, I believe is what they're called, and I want to get it like on my forearm. So like, yeah, they I like evergreens a lot, and like the Engelmann spruce is like the ideal, like when I think of like evergreens I really like, that's like kind of what it is, because I didn't want to like just be like, oh yeah, just give me an evergreen, and then they put a pine tree and somebody would be like, why do you have a Christmas tree tattooed on your arm? I'm like, no. So like an Engelmann spruce, yeah, that's
Engelmann
more
spruce.
the idea of like, you know, what I like.
Bro,
So
What if you just got the word Engelmann spruce tattooed on your arm?
.jpg.
.jpg. That's what I want. Put that on me.
yeah.
Ink it up.
That's
Yeah, I wish I could get tattoos, man.
Yeah. Well, you got a few.
I don't got tattoos. These are all fake. Oh wow, Nick, why are you looking at the camera like that, bro? Look at him. Look, he's like, he looks like he wants to kiss the camera.
Oh yeah. He probably does.
Probably, man. Who doesn't?
He is he's an affectionate man. It's funny because on my end of the stream, like the video is just like freezing over and over, like the music's coming through and it's just like kind of
Oh, that's good.
but like the video itself is freezing, and like seeing some of the facial expressions is amazing.
I wish you were also recording your screen so you could show me that.
If only I had thought about it, fired it up OBS, that'd been funny. Because like one of them like that on the screen. It's like, ah.
My heart. Hey, your face is visible now, man.
Yeah, I had to get the hair out of my face eventually. I think I had time to get the sweat off my face at that point. Dude, making music videos is hard.
Are the lights pulsing in the scene, or is that all After Effects?
I can't remember.
It was 5 years ago, if not more. That's fine.
I
I just couldn't tell.
I think he had like a controller he was stepping on. I think. it
Okay.
was.
All right, is this the part where you go?
Waiting the whole album for this.
Just one whole album for the. Nick's like, what contributions do you want to add to the songs, Brooks? And you're like, gonna go real architects on him.
But like,
We've done it, man.
Yeah, we've did it. We made it through the whole album.
The whole album. It wasn't painful at all. Like, I'm completely ready. I could go back through for a second time if I'm going to be quite honest with you. If it wasn't for the fact that it's 8:00 at night and I'm an old man and I'm usually in bed by 8:30. So, probably can't go back through it. But hey, man, what an experience. What a trip. I got to sit down. I got to hear your input, talking about the songs, talking about them as we're going through them and getting to listen and jam out together, man. It reminds me of the old days.
Oh, absolutely, man. It was a lot of fun to revisit. I was a little bit worried because, fun fact, for like by the time the album came out, I hated the album. Absolutely detested it. Wanted nothing to do with it because I had to listen to it so many times because it was like mixes. Oh, we rewrote this part, redo this mix. I'm pretty sure like Glow itself, I think the final version of it was something like Glow 26.
Holy shit, dude.
That was the 26th mix. And it wasn't even the first version. It was like the third or fourth. So like I may have close to like 60 or 70 versions of Glow like sitting in my email.
The Brooks cut. Release the Brooks cut.
I will be I don't know how I would implement it or how you would implement into there, but like I could send you, because initially Glow was the intro. So I have an intro for Glow that I wrote. It was orchestral. It was it sounded almost exactly like Final Fantasy fight music, which was completely unintentional. It was just like the idea I had in my head, and then when I got done, I was like, that sounds like Final Fantasy. I hope the guys don't notice.
I do want to open up the floor to you. If we got any final words or thoughts or anything that you want to let us know about yourself, the album, something that we didn't get to touch on. I know this album was very personal for you. There was a lot of ups, a lot of downs. Ford Swin's War has not been able to piece together some music since then. You guys have been operating kind of differently than as the band. So, just give me some, ballpark some stuff at me, man. I'm feeling it. I got my Pierce the Veil shirt on. I'm ready for a Blackpink beanie, bro, because I'm always about Blackpink. They're in your area, do or whatever.
So, no, like if I had any like closing thoughts on, everything, like it would just kind of be the general message that I wish could have gotten out to people when we made that album, which is just when you listen to that album, I want it to be a source of comfort for people. I've had, I think there was one person who found it on TikTok one time that like messaged me and said, hey, like, I just want you to know, like, this album really helped me, and that was like one of the most beautiful moments of being a musician, that accomplished the goal of the album right there. But I wanted to see it really get out there so that more people could feel like they were helped by it, And buddy, like you're talking about buying it and everything. At this point, especially with Forts being like basically disbanded and whatnot, bro, like if I could clear it with the other guys, I would just be giving it out to people. Like I would just be emailing it to people, because it was never about, like, especially now that it's all over, never about like, building something out of it or anything. Because now it's, even if it does, it's like, cool, sweet, we have this new project that we're working on. I wanted it to get out to people. And with that, I wanted to send the message of, I needed, when I was at my worst, like a sign. And it's such a cliche at this point. So people are like, let this be your sign and everything. And I don't know how to put that in a way where I can make that sound more genuine. I honestly don't, because every time I heard let this be your sign to get help, it didn't feel real. It felt like, oh, I've heard this 1,000 times. Everybody says, let this be your sign. So I'm not going to tell people to let this be their sign, but I want them to listen to what I'm saying with these lyrics. Listen to like what I experienced. And I want them to just think about it. I want them to think about the idea of getting help. I'm not saying, go pick up your phone, call your therapist right now. I'm not saying, check yourself into a place where you can get help or something like that. I'm not saying anything like that, because telling somebody to do that when they're in that mental state is not helpful always. Sometimes somebody can be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is my sign, I should get help. It's not always the most helpful thing, because when you're in that mental state, already, it's almost patronizing to tell them go get help, because already you should be getting help. But I hope that what I've made, if people start listening to, this album, I hope that can be that first little baby step. It's a domino effect. You take one little step, you listen to somebody else's story about what they went through. You go through all of that, and maybe that leads to something else. Maybe then you can write your own thoughts down. And when you see your thoughts in front of you, you realize like, hey, I don't think I understand how this works. Or if you have some kind of intrusive thought, sometimes I do that. I write down my own intrusive thoughts to try and find logical fallacy in it. Right. So like, maybe you do something like that. Oh, well, that doesn't make sense. Why would I do that when this doesn't point to this? I think I really do have a problem. You get enough evidence to combat your mind and convince yourself to go get that help. So that's what I'm hoping for. I hope that this isn't the sign to go get help. I hope that if it is, great. But if anything, I hope it's a step that puts you in the right direction towards getting help.
Yeah. Yeah. Music is a very powerful way to get a message across. People, they really connect with songs, and I think it's an incredible message you're putting out there, Brooks. To be quite frank with you, that's a lot of the idea of No Streetlights, which is another huge reason why talking about this album overlapped so well with our message and our ethos. And of course, you and I get to sit down and we get to enjoy the music together and kind of jam out a little bit. And I'm sure the audience, if they stayed around or they're listening to us in pieces on their commutes from home to work or work to home or wherever they're going, to the gym, to the hospital, whatever, man. I really hope that you did take the opportunity to listen through what Brooks was saying about the songs and breaking down what his lyrics are meant. And then honestly, just cut the episode and go check out the album, because there's a lot of awesome stuff in there, a lot of things that I find inspiring. And I think that's what really drew me to, the style of music that we love so much to begin with, Brooks, because there's so much inspiration in the lyrics and in the song and in the genre. And everybody is always talking about hope. And I mean, going back to the first ever band I listened to, Linkin Park, Chester Bennington had always put out so much music about fighting depression and addiction and things of that nature. And, there's just so much you can connect with in that kind of music. And I hope somebody out there hears it and says to themselves, I really should try to do just a little bit better today, just a little bit.
And one little step. That's all it really takes.
Just take one little step, man. Just one little baby step. If you don't have the energy to get up and move around, just start doing some breathing exercises. Any kind of movement will get that stagnant energy flowing so you can start feeling better, So Brooks, man, thank you so much for joining us. Well, I guess joining me this time around. But, thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to sit down and talk about this album with you, because it's such a work of art. And I love your music, man. I could sit here. You could bring me 15 of your albums and we'll sit down and listen to all of them, man. As long as you're not sick of it, I'm not sick of it.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I can't thank you enough for having me on here, because this was definitely like this episode in itself has really actually helped me a lot with like kind of getting closure on that album, because it is a thing that it kind of tortured me for a while, was the fact that like I never got the opportunity to really do anything other than have the message in the lyrics and whatnot. I could tell my friends about it. I could tell people who are like, oh, what bands have you been in? I could tell them about it. So I appreciate you letting me talk about this on here, because it does really mean a lot to me and actually helps me a lot mentally to kind of get closure on this thing that we started writing in 2019 and finished in 2023. Yeah.
6 years later, and we're sitting down here talking about it now, man.
Glow was written in 2019, and Catatonia was the last one written. It was written in the winter of 2022.
Holy crap, dude.
Like,
holy crap. And then you guys dropped the album in January 23. Jeez, man.
So
beautiful.
It was a wild ride.
Well, hey, so I do want to go ahead and take a quick second here to thank the listeners. If you've made it through the entirety of this episode, it's a long one. But breaking down some lyrics and listening to some music, it's well worth the time and effort put into it. Break this episode up as much as you need. I'm going to say that in the description, but I guess it's pointless to put it at the end of the video. Am I right? Or the end of the episode. So thank you all so much for joining us. I do want to let you know that over here at No Streetlights Incorporated, on the No Streetlights podcast, a project of No Streetlights Incorporated, we are not mental health professionals. So make sure that if you do find yourself in a situation where you need some, sorry, hold on. Let me retake that. I do want to let everybody know over here on the No Streetlights podcast, we are not professional medical advisors. So fuck, what does Aaron always say? This is why he does this part of the outro and I don't. Right. Cannot be substituted for professional medical advice. Right. I do want to let everybody know that over here on the No Streetlights podcast, the show cannot be taken as substitute for professional medical advice. If you do need help now, please consider text or calling 988 or call 911 for immediate medical intervention. I do want to let every single one of you know that, as always, be good to yourselves and each other. We love you over here. And peace.
No street lights, but we're finding our way. In the dark, but we've got something to say. Lessons learned and stories untold.